Before I move on to a new topic, I want to give you a brief introduction to an important class defined in Java, character string or just string. We have started to use string from the very beginning of this course. Remember that our first Java program printed out the message Hello World. Hello World is a character string. This is our first Java program, which prints out a greeting message Hello World. Whenever the Java compiler encounters a string literal enclosed in a pair of double quotes, it will create a string object with the corresponding sequence of characters. We can also declare a string using the string class, so string greeting equal to hello world would create an object of string type with hello world as its value. Using system.out.println with the character string variable greeting as parameter would print out the message hello world on the console. If you prefer, you could also use io.outputLine, which would produce the same output. A string is a sequence of characters. Java provides the string class for creating and manipulating strings. The string class provides methods for examining individual characters in a string. For example, when you are spelling out a word, you need to look at the individual characters. An important operation on comparing strings is needed in arranging words or names in alphabetical order. Another important operation is to search for certain strings. This is basically what you would do when you search for information on the web. Other useful operations on strings including extracting substrings and converting strings to uppercase and lowercase letters. We have introduced the character type char when we talk about primitive data type. So char is one of 8 primitive data types. Char is used for storing exactly one character. Java uses 16 bits so that it can represent characters encoded using 16-bit Unicode, which is used to represent many other languages in addition to English. Remember that a pair of single quote is used for representing a character in char. For example, here we are declaring a class of students. If we want to include as an instance variable the gender of a student, we can use M to represent male and F for female students. If instead of using just one character, we want to spell out the entire word male or female, char cannot be used as the data type. For example, by putting male in a pair of single quotes would lead to a compilation error. We have to use the string class in order to use the word male or female for representing gender in this example. On a side issue, one may ask if one wants to create a character using a single quote or a string with double quote as one of its characters. The way to do it is by using an extra \/ in front of the single or double quote or any other special characters. For example, if one wants to print out the message, she received an A in COM1022P with 8 being enclosed in double quote, the \/ before the double quotes will accomplish that printout. Very often, we want to store more than one character together as an entity. For example, some names, IDs that contain more than just digits, file names, links for web pages, and many others. Java provides a standard string class for representing string. Notice that strings start with the capital letter S. String is an abstract data type. An abstract data type is a data type whose internal representation is hidden from the user. We know what a string is supposed to represent, that is, a sequence of characters, and the methods that can be used for operating on strings, but we don't really need to know how strings are represented internally in a computer. Some of the useful operations that can be performed on string include methods for determining the length of a string, the character at a given location, a substring of a given string, to compare whether two strings are equal or in certain order, and to combine strings to form longer strings, and many more. As discussed, strings store a sequence of characters. For strings with length n, the characters being stored in a string can be indexed from 0 to n-1. As we have seen many times before, The easiest way to specify a string is by using a pair of double quotes. In this example, if we are defining a class of students, one of the instance variables could be the name of a student of string type, and the declaration here assigns the literal string Martin to the string variable student name. Here shows the syntax for declaring and initializing a string variable in general. String is a reference type. Instances created from a string class are objects. In this example, a reference variable, student name of string type, is declared but not yet initialized. The variable can be initialized inside the constructor when the parameter to the constructor for student is assigned to student name. This is all I want to say about string for now. More information about the string class can be found at the website here. I'll also provide a more detailed discussion on this topic in part 2 of this course.